Hello everyone, this is your boy Ryan back with a quick video on a starter build for Legacy of Phercia event in Path of Exile 1. I decided to make a elemental Bama starter with a Paladin ascendancy on the Duelist class. The upside of Paladin is that it boosts elemental damage by a huge amount and provides us with lots of HP regen and also lets us play around with war cries. On the downside, we lose a lot of minion survivability that we usually get from Necromancer defensive nodes. The build features a whopping 2 million DPS on map bosses with gears that you can find during Act 5 to 6. I tried to make it as budget as possible, only adding extremely necessary pieces. The build, however, will require some special specters from the ritual altars. The other major downside of this build is leveling the character. Duelist has no access to minion skills at the start, plus there's no minion related nodes nearby at the start of the tree. So either you need to play a different build to level up, in which case a bleed bow or some steel skills can do the job, or you can play as a witch for like 15 minutes until level 4 or level 10 if you want to get some support gems as well, and then get SRS and then use that to level up. Personally, I'll play as a SRS starter, so I'll need to play a witch first and then switch back to the duelist class. A quick reminder that if you want to play a poison Bama or chaos Bama or any poison related minion ascendance, poison related minion build, then you absolutely must use a servant of Arakali from the shadow ascendancy or shadow class. With that said, let's get into the POB section of the video. So here we have the POB section of the video. This is going to be a duelist class with the ascendancy being the Paladin, and the pathing for this build is going to be a bit awkward since the Paladin is accessible to this class and this class only. And so we're gonna start on the right side of the tree and then we're gonna go up. Initially, we want to just rush upwards and skip everything else and then rush towards minion nodes so that we have some damage early on. We can even go through this side of the path at the start, skip everything else and just rush minion nodes so that we can get our damage early. This is only for people who want to level up with minion skills. Otherwise, if you're gonna play some other build for leveling, then get other trees or other passive trees for that. So this is my preferred tree. I will path through the left side first, get minion nodes, and then respec and get the right side. Later on, when I have the Bama gem, you take this bow cluster only after you get your transfigured gem from the lab or you buy it from some player. The tree is pretty straightforward, standard Bama tree. We get all the notables, minion notables on the witch side of the passive tree, and also we take some defensive nodes and life nodes. We also take the ranger side and get spell suppression through this side of the passive tree, and mage bane and every other stuff. So all around it's kind of the ideal tree, I would say. Pretty balanced, no clusters or whatsoever, but this is also experimental and will be changed as I progress throughout the game and get better and better gear. I can skip points through this side, get clusters, get this notable over here, or maybe annoyance stuff and all. Early game though, you're gonna have some problems with mana, so I suggest get a mana flask and use that and sustain your mana cost earlier. I'm also taking a life mastery to get 15% reduced mana cost. Other than that, tree is pretty much straightforward, nothing special. We take minion offensive nodes. Also, this node here is very important. This gives a skill effect duration, which is very important. You also want to take skill effect duration over here to get more effect duration. Yeah, and that's about it. This one point here is optional. You can skip it if you get a life flask, but I like to get corrupted blood immunity, which is very nice. Okay, now let's go into the skill section. We have Bama, Blinker of Bombarding Clones with Volatility, Fresh Meat, Minion Damage, and Early Damage with attacks. This is on 4 link. If you put this on, it's going to be 2.6 million, which is pretty nice. Uh, for our auras, we have Purity of Elements and Determination with custom damage taken Steel Skin over here. For the other 4 link, we have Elemental Weakness as our main curse, Flesh Offering, Desecrate, and Convocation. And then for our Feeding Frenzy setup, we have Mirror Arrow with Feeding Frenzy, Enduring Cry, and Precision. For our body armor, we have our support minion, Ray Spectre, Animate Guardian, Meat Shield, Minion Life, and if you have a 5th slot open, I'd suggest getting a Stone Golem or a Chaos Golem. Any one of them will do if you want some more physical damage reduction or regen, up to you. Summon Elemental Relic comes from the Ascendancy, and talking about Ascendancy, let's go over that first. So in POB, they are coming in as jewels, something like this. So as a Paladin, you want to take the Light of Divinity, this one as your first lab Ascendancy, which says nearby enemies take increased elemental damage. Then the second one, you want to get the Elemental Valiance for Summon Elemental Relic. Your third Ascendancy should be Bring the Battle, so that you can taunt enemies and then the enemies deal a lot less damage and take more damage. And then finally you have Anointed Champion for Consecrated Ground while stationary. This is basically a notable from this one, which is I don't remember. I don't even remember the name of this Ascendancy, even the Consecrated Ground one. Okay, that's about it for the Ascendancy so far, I guess. For the items, I have kept everything open. A bow with lightning damage, attack speed, and crit chance, specifically ivory bow, so it has less requirements on your dexterity. A quiver, broaded arrow quiver with attack speed, lightning damage, attack speed, and a craftable slot to craft the chance to gain frenzy charge on critical strike along with bow damage. A pretty standard quiver that you can get anywhere dropped. It is inexpensive. Also, if you spend 1 chaos and get a Doom Fletch, damage goes up by a lot. Early game Doom Fletch is a very nice bow to have. For the amulet, Jinx Juju is very good. This is very good for early game and late game actually. Late game we want to get a corrupted one, but early game a Jinx Juju, extremely good amulet. Early game also Belt of the Deceiver, very powerful belt. Intimidate, all res, live, everything good on this belt. We want to get a Darkness Enthroned as soon as possible though, but early game this is very good. For your helmet, body armor, gloves, and boots, you want to cap out your resistances, get as much life and suppression as possible in the early game. For your ring slots, you want to fulfill all of your attribute needs from both of your rings and then look for life and resistances. And that is all about your gear. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Oh yeah, lastly, the Ghastly Eye Jewels. You want life and lightning damage. Minions deal lightning damage. This is your best jewel for the early game. You can also get something like Taunt on Hit or Blind on Hit jewels. Those are going to be very nice as well. 1 mod or 2 mod jewels are usually very inexpensive, to say the least. Okay, another option for the Ascendancy, however, that I haven't talked about is, let's see, instead of Anointed Champion, you can actually get Determination. This gives out level 30 Determination, which is gonna boost your armor by like double the amount of what I have currently. So that's another option that you can explore, but I like to have the Consecrated Ground. It's very nice to have. It gives us so much regen. Like if I take off, am I on Consecrated Ground? My life regen goes from 424 to 600. This is like 200 life regen, and this I have like 3.2k life without any life on any of the gear. For our custom modifiers, I put animated guardian stuff over here, and one of the specters damage with hits is lucky. This one comes from the totem specter, and this too comes from the animated guardian gear with leer cast and dying breath. Everything else is pretty standard, nothing that much. Oh, this one, I think we can take this off. Yeah, that's about it. You can take this on when you have a blind on hit jewel for the minions, but otherwise let's take them off also. Okay, so that's about it, right? Yeah, that's about it. Oh, another thing, bandit quest. We want to help Pelaria. This time we want to help Pelaria for the 15% additional elemental resistances. That's because we are no longer a necromancer and we're not getting the extra 30% rest. So we have to make up for something. And that's why we choose Pelaria on this time. Yeah, that's about it. And it ends the build guide for now. I will be updating this build constantly as I play through the campaign and play through the game more and more. Keep in mind, this is going to be a slow down of videos because I don't have that much time to play anymore. So keep up with more videos in the future, and we're going to take this build up to the maximum as much as we can. Thank you for watching. Please sub so that we can make this channel grow even further. And I will see you guys in the next video.